Hello, magical people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and I'm going to be sharing our weekly astro weather for Monday, October 6th, going until Sunday, October 12th. And we have got quite an interesting week ahead. I titled this video with the very special Venus sextile Jupiter aspect we're going to be having. We're also going to be having full moon in Aries, Mercury entering Scorpio, Mercury square Pluto, Venus opposite Saturn. So lots going on. We're going to unpack this week with the Western astrology ahead, as well as some other surprises. So thank you all so much for joining me, and please remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to leave a comment to help the channel's growth, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone is doing very well out there. We are right in October. I'm filming this Sunday, October 5th. And yeah, we have got, so not just the Western astrology, you guys, but also something very special going on in our solar system that I'm sure many of you guys have heard about. 3-eye atlas. We've got this interstellar object that is currently right in our solar system and is actually right now going right past Mars. Okay. Let me see if I can bring this forward over here. Well, you guys can see here. Let me actually zoom in over there. That 3-eye atlas is actually going right past Mars. And out of 3-eye atlas's journey all throughout our solar system, he is going closest to the planet Mars. And right now, as I'm speaking, as we are starting off the beginning of this week, 3-eye atlas is flying so close to Mars, almost hitting Mars, past it. And from our Earth's perspective, we have Mars conjunct 3-eye atlas. So this is extremely special right now, you guys. An interstellar object that is conjunct Mars from our Earth's perspective that we are receiving cosmic energies from, integrating with Mars. So I want to unpack a little bit what this is all about. We've got Tree Hugger in the chat. Hello, Tree Hugger. Portugal. Hello, Portugal. I'm actually half Portuguese. So hello to my Portuguese family out there. Hello, Nebraska, Hungary, New Zealand. We are here. We've got soul family from all over the world. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I am a Western astrologer, but also amateur astronomer, mystic. And of course, it has meaning that there is this interstellar object in our solar system right now and so close to the planet Mars. Now, my husband Jens and I are going to be doing a special show this week, I think on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, about 3-eye atlas, the spiritual significance and astrological significance of 3-eye atlas. For me personally, I feel like this is a very sacred object going through our solar system that has a uplifting, healing energy to it. But at the same time, it feels like there's darker forces on the planet that might want to try to invert what 3-eye atlas is all about, right? So that's something that I think we need to be very discerning of right now. So with this huge interstellar object that is conjunct Mars from our Earth's perspective, it is bringing healing energy to the Mars-ruled areas of life. And we are not only going through the astrology transits of everything else I'm going to share, full moon in Aries, Mercury entering Scorpio, Venus sextile Jupiter, Mercury square Pluto, Venus opposite Saturn. That's already a lot in itself. We're also coming off the energy, the heels of these recent eclipses that we just had in September. Hello, Margie. Very nice to see you. And hello, MJ. We are also going through this. I feel it is an initiation and an activation from 3-eye atlas, which more and more of the truth about it will be revealed. It's really interesting that supposedly Three Eye Atlas is showing up as blue. Okay, so this is a picture that I don't even know if this is a real picture or not. This is from All Day Astronomy on X. But I have seen different reportings that Three Eye Atlas is showing up as blue. And this makes me think, you guys, of that prophecy, the Blue Star Kachina prophecy, right? And this is something that comes from the Hopi people. And I'm going to be a very Aquarian astrologer right now and bring up Chat GPT. And I'm going to ask, what is the spiritual significance of the blue star Kachina prophecy of the Hopi people? This is me and my Aquarian side. Let's see what this says. The Blue Star Kachina prophecy is one of the most well-known prophecies of the Hopi people. And you guys will see why I'm bringing this up in a moment and how it ties into Three Eye Atlas, a Native American tribe whose spiritual teachings are deeply rooted in maintaining harmony with the earth and the cosmos. The Blue Star Kachina prophecy is most commonly associated with Hopi elder White Feather of the Bear clan. At its core, the prophecy speaks of 9 signs that will precede the end of the current world, the fourth world, and the transition into the fifth world. The final sign involves the appearance of a celestial being or object called the Blue Star Kachina. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments, you guys. Do you think that Three Eye Atlas could be what the Hopi people talked about of the Blue Star Kachina? There's also many other ancient teachings, channelings that talk about an object that will come into our solar system that will help with the waking up of humanity during these times. And it's really interesting, isn't it, that the closest that Three Eye Atlas will get to a planet is to Mars, where he is right now, right? And Mars, for those of you who don't know, rules in astrology the divine masculine, war, conflict, anger, aggression, frustration, action, right? Next says activating Mars is interesting. Yeah, it's Mars is being activated, freaking hugely activated by Three Eye Atlas right now. Look at how close it is to Mars. And sorry, you guys, I'm trying to close in better. Look at how close it is, right? So this interstellar object that is coming from the direction of galactic center. For those of you who don't know, galactic center is the heart of our Milky Way galaxy. It is the most high vibration part of our Milky Way galaxy. It's coming directly from there. So that is very significant. As we are in this week with the astrological transits, with everything that's going on energetically, we're going through Three Eye Atlas, I think, activating, cleansing, upgrading, initiating Mars and all the things that it rules and our relationship to Mars in general, and also our relationship to Mars in our personal astrology charts. So I highly recommend, as we go into this week, you guys, if you want to really get into the astrology, looking at your personal astrology chart and seeing where is your Mars, right? So right now we currently have Mars at in the sign of Scorpio. I think it would be very powerful for us to look at our personal Mars placements in our chart, what sign we have Mars in, what house we have Mars in. Are there any aspects to our Mars, if you want to look at it really advanced? And what is that all about? Where do we have our Mars? How do we express our divine masculine? How do we process our frustration, anger? How do we put up our boundaries? How do we protect ourselves? Right? So there's a very big Mars theme throughout this whole week. And there may be times this week where we're tested on our boundaries, Mars, where we're really noticing our divine masculine side, where we're really noticing maybe where power was taken away from us at some point, or maybe a place where we can be more bold, we can be more brave. So paying attention to those Mars aspects is really important. And isn't it interesting that Mars rules two signs, Aries and Scorpio? Mars is currently in one of his two home signs of Scorpio, so in a very powerful place. And Three Eye Atlas is passing Mars while it's in a home sign in Scorpio from our Western astrology point of view. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this shit up, you guys. This is very powerful. And we're starting off the week, Monday, October 6th, with a full moon in Aries with Three Eye Atlas conjunct the dispositor ruler of the moon, Aries. So this is a very divinely fated time of the Aries ruled areas of life. Again, our masculine side, our boundaries, our empowerment, our self authority, our leadership, our energy levels, our physicality, our action. Where are we asserting ourselves? Where are we afraid? Where can we be more fearless? Aries. This full moon is, I actually really like this full moon in Aries. And typically, a full moon in Aries for us astrologers can be a little bit freaky because it's like, full moons are very amplified and an intense energy, the time in the lunation cycle when we are letting go, cleansing of what no longer serves us. Also, the areas of life ruled by the sign that the moon is in is very illuminated and highlighted. But this is a very special full moon. The dispositor Mars in a home sign, the dispositor conjunct Three Eye Atlas. We've got Venus sextile Jupiter, Mercury square Pluto, Mercury in Scorpio, 0 degrees, square Pluto. So there can be a big theme too at the start of the week of shadow work, secrets being revealed of ourselves, of others, in the collective as well. So this is a very big cleansing energy, you guys, this week with this full moon, with what's going on with Three Eye Atlas. This is not normal stuff at all. And also on the same day as the full moon in Aries, Mercury ingresses into Scorpio. So I'm going to unpack what that means because that is a very significant transit. If you have not yet done a full moon cleansing ceremony, whatever practice you like to do, highly recommend you do so with this full moon as it is very potent. Doing healing work around themes like, where have you given your energy away? Where are you calling back your energy and power to you? Physical exercise is amazing at this time. Sex, tantric healing is amazing at this time as well. Creativity, taking action, Aries, being bold with this full moon. And remember, we're within the orb of influence of a full moon or new moon the 3 days before or after, right? So from now until Wednesday, we are within the full moon portal where it's a great time to do cleansing work, reflection. We can also do intention setting with a full moon, but it's more of a theme of letting go and culmination. So very powerful full moon. Also on Monday, Mercury ingresses into Scorpio. We're going to be in Scorpio season soon, you guys. We've already got Mars in Scorpio. And this Mercury in Scorpio transit, this is very interesting because Mercury, he's a very fast planet. He's always very close to the sun. He is going to be in Scorpio and then ingress into Sagittarius. And then on November 9th, from November 29th, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So we're kind of leading up, it's over a month away, but we're leading up to our next Mercury retrograde, which is going to be quite a doozy, okay? Because it will be a Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, a sign all about truth and freedom and the higher philosophies and expansiveness. And Scorpio, which is major secrets being revealed, powerful people, elite groups, taxes, hidden money, the dark arts, can even be secret societies. So this Mercury ingressing into Scorpio, it's making the energy even more intense. We've already got Mars in Scorpio. And we will have exact Mercury square Pluto on Tuesday. So we're starting off this Mercury and Scorpio transit with a square to Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio. So I am expecting this week some very intense information being revealed about powerful people, politicians, elites, secret groups, all ruled by Scorpio in astrology. And it's interesting. I saw something. Where did I see this? Was it on X or Facebook? I'm not sure. I'm going to share this with you guys so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. You can't make this shit up. Why am I getting so many notifications? I'm sorry, you guys. There's little notifications there at the bottom. 6 days until Hillary's deposition. On October 9th, Hillary Clinton will finally be deposed under oath by the Oversight Committee, House Oversight Committee, about her ties to Jeffrey Epstein and how his case was handled by federal agencies. Dun, dun, dun. As Mercury is in square to Pluto, as we're within the portal of the full moon in Aries, 3i Atlas, conjunct Mars. Oh my God. So Hillary Clinton being deposed October 9th. And then we've also got October 14th, former President Bill Clinton being deposed, having to do with Jeffrey Epstein. October 2nd, we had General Merrick Garland. And October 7th, on Tuesday, the day of Mercury square Pluto. Can't make this shit up. Former FBI Director James Comey. This week is going to be huge. There's going to be the astrology is very supportive for public revelations of powerful people and the shady shit they've done behind the scenes. I'm sure many of you guys already heard that on Friday, P. Diddy was jailed for more than 4 years in prostitution case. Sean Diddy Combs is jailed for more than 3 years on prostitution-related charges. He was convicted of flying people across the U.S. for sexual encounters he called freak-offs, including his girlfriends and male sex workers. As he sentenced the hip-hop mogul, the judge said the court had seen massive amounts of evidence against Combs and a significant sentence was required. Red Pill Rooster and I, we did a whole series late spring going into the summer on the P. Diddy trial. We had a lot of fun doing that. And we were getting that there was going to be justice being served. And okay, it's not a life sentence. It's not as long as maybe some of us would like to see it. But nice to see that he is getting jail time. And he's got many other court cases against him. So I don't think his story is over yet. Absolutely wild stuff. There is so much going on at the same time, you guys. Also want to say too, with Mercury ingressing into Scorpio and us now being in that transit and that influence, yes, MJ, that is freaking huge, right? While Mercury is in Scorpio, also Mars in Scorpio, and during Scorpio season coming up, which starts on October 22nd, this is an amazing time for diving deep. Scorpio is all about the depths of life, right? Diving deep in our conversations, Mercury, with our relationships, in our local community, having deep conversations, right? Researching deep subjects. Mercury and Scorpio people are highly, highly intuitive, perceptive, intuitive. I already said intuitive. You guys will notice your intuition is very, very strong with Mercury and Scorpio, in particular, if you are a Gemini or a Virgo, as that is your planetary ruler. So the energies are, getting intense with the planets entering Scorpio, but I'm actually really happy to share that I really like some of the transits that we have coming up this Scorpio season. I'll have to do a whole separate kind of forecast all about the upcoming Scorpio season. Jupiter in Cancer is going to make really nice trines to all these different Scorpio placements. And we've got Saturn in Pisces. It's going to make nice aspects to the sun and these Scorpio placements. So this Scorpio season, it's going to be intense, but it's supportive in humanity's wake up and further revealings that need to happen, shadow work coming to the surface, us going through great transformation as well. So we move on to Wednesday. We've got Venus sextile Jupiter, which is actually lighting up the energy this week. Mercury square Pluto is intense. Venus opposite Saturn is intense. Full moon in Aries is intense. But while all this is going on, middle of the week, which we have as an influence for the whole week, the two benefics in a positive aspect, Venus, 23 degrees of Virgo, sextile Jupiter, 23 degrees of Cancer. And it's really beautiful whenever we have the two benefics in positive aspect because they both represent luck, positivity, abundance, prosperity, opportunity. And sextile aspects are positive aspects in astrology along with trines. And sextiles, they represent opportunities to be unlocked. So throughout the week, and Wednesdays when it's exact, there's opportunities to unlock when it has to do with Venus in Virgo areas and Jupiter in Cancer areas. Virgo is about our health, day-to-day work, schedule, organization, wellness, cleanliness, details of life. And Cancer is all about our home, family, emotions, emotional foundation, self-care, nations. I think there could be some very positive news for nations, in particular nations that have a Cancer influence. So nations that have a Cancer influence are the USA and Canada are both Cancers. The United Kingdom has its moon in Cancer, which actually, let me check something here, you guys. I can't remember. I'm going to look on my astrology program as I'm live with you. This is live and off the cuff. Want to remind myself what degree the United Kingdom's moon is at. Because if I'm remembering correctly, it might be, oh, it is. The United Kingdom has its moon 19 degrees of Cancer. Wow. So actually, Jupiter is within 4 degrees of being conjunct the moon of the UK during this Venus sextile Jupiter. Maybe we will have some good news in regards to digital ID or something that has been a very big issue for the UK people or a positive development for the country of UK and the people of UK. Cancer in astrology, it does represent homelands and countries, but also the people of a country. So our British friends out there, let us know what happens this week to all you guys. There's some sort of blessing. And for all of us, there's a theme of blessings, opportunity, luck. Okay. So very, very positive aspect that is lighting up the energy. And there are opportunities for us this week, wherever we have 23 degrees of Cancer in our chart, 23 degrees of Virgo. It's a beautiful, beautiful aspect. So Wednesday, that beautiful Venus sextile Virgo. Thursday, we will have moon exalted in Taurus. Very nice. Friday, moon ingresses into Gemini. These are lighter signs that the moon is in. And it really is a week of, I keep hearing this word, spirits saying revelations, truth being revealed, major, major disclosure, positive change. This is powerful. When we go into the weekend on Saturday, we will have exact Venus in an opposition to Saturn. So by the end of this week, there may be an information overload of some intense information, Mercury square Pluto, right? As we get to the end of the week, we're kind of integrating that information in with the moon in Gemini. Venus, the goddess of beauty, love, the enjoyments of life, in an opposition to Granddaddy Saturn, reality checks. Okay, so as we go into next weekend, there can be, and as we go midweek, we'll be within a strong orb. of that Venus opposite Saturn, some reality checks coming up having to do with politicians, our personal relationships, the financial markets, money, where we've been spending our money, where we've been keeping our money. Okay. Scorpio also, I think I might have mentioned this, but just to reiterate this, Scorpio and Pluto, Scorpio's ruling sign in astrology, rules hidden money, the big banks, taxes, investments. Okay. One of the signs that rules the financial markets. So I think we could get some big disclosure about something financial when it comes to those hidden money areas. And a lot of people by the end of the week might be thinking, okay, might need to make a big decision about where to put certain resources, money. How are we making our money? Do we feel in alignment with how we are receiving abundance? Can we be more in alignment with prosperity, our gifts, our talents? So if you are a Taurus or Libra, sun or rising, this Venus opposite Saturn can feel a little bit heavy. Okay, as we get to the end of the week, can feel a little bit like heavy or tiring for all of us, but particularly for the Tauruses and the Libras. So my fellow Taurus and Libra placements, if by the end of the week you're like, what the heck? I am so tired. I don't know what's going on. Maybe even feeling a little bit down in the dumps. Hopefully you don't have that, but just saying astrologically, your ruler Venus is in an opposition to Saturn. Okay. So this is really interesting. I'm very curious to see what we are going to have coming up this week because this is a time of disclosure. And like MJ is saying, revelations. And there's already so much of it happening. I want to share this video as well, you guys, from Fraser Nelson. Never heard of him before, but cool video that he posted that got a lot of traction on X, talking about Starmer's digital ID plan is in meltdown. Maybe this has to do with the good news for the UK this week. Let's take a little listen to this, and I'm going to put it at a little bit of a faster playback speed so we can get through it.
Introduce a new form of digital ID in the UK are ones that we have been widely linked to online. So many people are talking about Palantir's involvement with that program, and I want to say that we will not be participating in that.
You will not?
Oh, so he's from Palantir.
Well, it's actually, the answer is on a couple of levels. One is I have actually personal concerns about digital ID. That's both on a technical level. I think there are other ways of addressing.
Oh, snaps, you guys. I didn't realize he was from Palantir, which for those of you who don't know is a very controversial business that I'm not an expert on. Somebody let me know. If somebody knows better how to explain Palantir than me, because I just know a little bit about it, but I know that it's something that's like trying to track our data. Is that correct, you guys? So, whoa, he's a part of Palantir and he's saying that he doesn't want to have anything to do with the digital ID. This is crazy.
Addressing the challenge that we have with engaging with government services online. I think there are ways to improve that wouldn't require a wholesale new form of ID. And I think it does open up the risk of misuse as well. But also it's a problem on a corporate level. So Palantir have long had a policy that we will help democratically elected governments to implement the policies they've been elected to deliver. And that does mean that often we are involved in the implementation of very controversial measures. However, digital ID is not one that was tested at the last election. It wasn't in the manifesto.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a clear, resounding public support at the ballot box for its implementation. And as you said, we're seeing a wide divergence of views and a lot of controversy around it. So it isn't one for us.
That is a really interesting and important statement from a company of the importance and size of Palantir. And I guess, maybe the reasoning behind it maybe summarizes Palantir's keeping out of politics, but not everything governments do is in their manifesto. To that extent, governments do what governments do, and their answer for it at the following general election and sometimes in between. But you are making a political judgment there on the validity, the democratic validity of this particular program.
Well, I think I would characterize it as it's a program that needs to be decided at the ballot box, not in the company boardroom.
Right.
And we haven't had that clear public mandate, if you like, that this is a program that the British public want to see implemented.
I mean, I can't remember that. I may be just not recalling it. I can't remember another example of a major corporation which deals very closely with the government taking a decision like that.
Well, I think it sticks very closely to the policy we've always had. We work for democratically elected, Western-aligned governments to deliver the policies they've been elected to deliver. And this is not one that has had that public mandate and support at the ballot box. And it is, as we're seeing, a very controversial one.
Right, Louis, have you told the government this is how you feel, that you will not be taking part, you will not be tendering for any part of the digital ID program, which is the first anyone's heard of it?
Well, that's a process that the government will undertake, and I guess in due course when they pursue the market engagement. So we won't participate in that market engagement.
Does that also mean that you're turning your back as a company, as a corporation, on what could be a very, very important, lucrative piece of business?
Isn't that freaking crazy, you guys? Palantir, which is a business that collects data on a big scale that's very controversial right now, JD Vance, is funded partly by Peter Thiel, is he founders or owners of Palantir? There's a lot of sketchy stuff, New World Order stuff going on with that. Isn't it interesting, you guys, when these groups speak against each other? We need to be very, very discerning right now. So our friends in the UK, I'm excited for this week for you guys with the astrology to see what comes up with this Venus sextile Jupiter, Jupiter conjunct your moon. And also want to share just another little clip that I saw, you guys, of RFK Jr. rejecting the United Nations Health Declaration. This is amazing, amazing news. The declaration, for those of you who don't know, wants to mandate digital surveillance, give mega corporations direct policy control, and create interoperable tracking systems. Oh my God. So he stood up to that. That is absolutely amazing. I know that's something that many of us in the freedom conscious community have been very freaked out about, this UN health declaration that, they want to put these certain mandates in order if there's going to be a next pandemic. Let's take a little listen to what RFK Jr. said.
We cannot defeat the epidemic alone, but the UN's approach is misdirected. It attempts both too little and too much. It exceeds the UN's proper role while ignoring the most pressing health issues. And that's why the United States will reject it. The WHO cannot claim credibility or leadership until it undergoes radical reform. The United States objects to the political declaration of non-communicable diseases. Member states decided earlier this year that this meeting should approve a declaration in advance by consensus to ensure this gathering would not be marred by controversy. But the declaration is filled with controversy, with provisions about everything from taxes to oppressive management by international bodies of communicable diseases. The draft declaration before us today should not have been included in today's agenda. The United States will walk away from the declaration.
Wow. So much going on, you guys. Katie said UN is not good at all. New World Order central. Totally agree with you, Katie. So this week ahead, this one packs a punch. This is very empowering. This is revealing. It is lucky as well. So let me know in the comments, what is everybody's full moon intentions? What are we letting go of? Where are we going to be more bold, more brave in life? And let's pull some cards for us for the week ahead with these astrological transits. What does the universe want to share with us for our highest good? And for those of you who may not know, I'm feeling guided to say that whenever I do my daily horoscopes and weekly astro shows, I've always got Pluto behind me. That's the planet that is behind me. And I am Pluto in Scorpio generation. I am a Scorpio myself. So I feel very passionate about truths being revealed and freedom and getting to the bottom of things, right? Authenticity and realness and rawness. So a week like this ahead gets me very, very excited. And Pluto is something that can be scary in astrology. It rules the most intense aspects of life, but it's very empowering and real at the same time. And I feel like we need more of that in the current world. Okay, interesting. The Seven of Wands. Whoa, Five of Pentacles. Page of Swords. What the heck? And the Queen of Swords. Okay, so new information coming out, right? And information, interesting, this Queen of Swords is making me feel like information that we've been waiting for, we are ready to go to the next level. I'm psychically seeing like the Matrix movies. We're ready to go to this next level of unveiling the Matrix and the truth of what's been really going on here. And it's interesting that we're in this time right now before Neptune re-enters Pisces on October 22nd. Okay. So if you follow me, you will know I talk about this on a very regular basis that we have an excess of Pisces influence in the astrology. Neptune has been the strongest outer planet in its home sign of Pisces since 2013, dipped his toes into Aries this year. We're going to have this one last stint of Neptune and Pisces from end of October to end of January, where it's going to be confusing and it's going to be trippy and it's going to be weird. And we're not going to know what's real and what's not real. And I hope I'm wrong about that, you guys, but likely with Neptune and Saturn in Pisces at the same time, the influence of the recent Pisces eclipse, us being at the end of an age of Pisces, it's going to feel trippy. And this week, next week, and a little bit of the week after, before Neptune goes back into Pisces, pay attention to the truths being revealed with Neptune and Aries. There is clarity coming in. And interesting that we've got this Seven of Wands, feeling like we're in a battle, feeling like we're walking on eggshells, like we're in a struggle. It's challenging when you're aware, when you're conscious with everything that's going on energetically right now. That's what this card is making me feel. And it's important to not take on the struggles of others this week. Yes, MJ, truth about spiritual war. I'm getting don't take on other people's struggles and karma that is not yours. Interesting. Remember what I said, you guys? There might be something revealed about the financial system that might like freak people out. Five of Pentacles can have to do with poverty, money issues, financial hardships, right? So there could be something going on that's maybe even a fear being promoted about the financial system or truth about the financial system that makes some people kind of like freak the fuck out. Actually, that might be a little potential for this week, but don't take on struggles, karma of others. Be in your lane. Hold your ground. Aries. You can be a giver, you can help others, but you need to be in your own energy first, in your own boundaries, knowing when to say no, knowing when you need to disconnect from a person and let them kind of process whatever's going on. There can be very revealing and powerful conversations with loved ones. Oh, she just fell down. With loved ones and people we know this week. So be prepared for very in-depth, intense conversation and information being revealed and inner truths, even about ourselves. Wow. Also, the Five of Cups. There's some shadow work coming up to the surface. There's some grief there with this full moon in Aries, exact on Monday, and we're within the portal of it today and going into Wednesday. There can be some intense emotions coming up to the surface. Aries rules anger, frustration, irritation, conflict. It brings things up into the present moment. So some of us might feel kind of off this week, or you may be noticing others around you really off, having their shadow work coming up. Again, have your boundaries up. You don't need to take on everybody's issues. That's not yours. Okay, that we can be there for people while also having strong boundaries. Wow. And also the Knight of Swords. Whoa. News coming in fast. Speeding ahead. Inevitable change. Woo. Hermano says, eye of the storm scenario spiritually. Yeah, this is a breaking point. This is a tipping point. Lots of new information, important conversations, truths being revealed, shadows coming to light. It is a lot of sword energy, which is the air element, our thoughts, communication, ideas, mental. We can even be very noticeable of our own mental state. Like, you might not think you're holding on to a self-limiting belief or mental pattern, but that can, I'm getting chills, that can even really be coming up maybe for a lot of us this week. And last but not least, Ace of Pentacles. I mean, it's just, this is now the third time this past week I've pulled the Ace of Pentacles. So it's so weird because there is this intense stuff going on, but at the same time, Venus sextile Jupiter. Luck and abundance of the physical realm, Venus and Virgo. So it's like, where are you at? Where are you at? Are you open to this? Do you believe you're worthy of that pentacle life, that opportunity? There are opportunities. There is positive development. There's positive change. There's healing this week, massive, if you're open to it. And if you're like, well, Meg, I've been feeling shitty for so long, or I've been dealing with this situation for so long, it's never changed, it's never gonna change. Ask the universe, God, great mystery, whatever you like to call your higher power, ask and you will receive. Ask for clarity, ask for signs, ask for synchronicities, ask for assistance, and you will receive. Jupiter exalted in Cancer, sextile Virgo. That is so powerful, you guys. Whoa. Isn't that crazy? The Five of Pentacles then goes into the Ace of Pentacles. Janice says, I keep pulling the Ace of Pentacles. It's funny because that's not one that I get a lot. And within the past week, it's been 3 times. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of our weekly astro weather for Monday, October 6th to Sunday, October 12th. If you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me, check out my offerings, social media. Everything is in the description box below. And we're going to be starting on my channel this upcoming week, our spooky season series, some new vlogs, paranormal investigations, a new bi-weekly show with Sunny and myself, some spooky, paranormal, fun, magical content. So stay tuned for that. First thing in the series is going to come out on Tuesday. And also something cool from the Scorpio shop that's going to be released this upcoming week. So very excited for that. Sending you so much cosmic love in these absolutely crazy magical times. And I will see you all tomorrow for our daily astrology horoscope for Monday and Tuesday. Love you all. See you next time.